All right, we'll get a new 30-minute game going. Let's see what we get today. We got the black pieces, 1e4, c6. Expecting to see d4, d5. Our opponent taking the full center. Another very strong opponent rated 1254. Oh, they push? So I think the move here is we go ahead and play d5 anyway. If they en passant, we can take with our queen, or we can take with our pawn. Okay. So they don't en passant, and we get just the advanced variation. Nothing too crazy. We'll go ahead and get our center closed up, get our knight out to d7, and then we'll be able to push c5, no problem, breaking up our opponent's pawn center. Yeah, this is familiar territory. The immediate push is a little bit scary because it can ruin our plans if they take on d6, but that simply did not happen, so I'm not too worried about what our opponent cooks up next. The way that I like to play this is white. Ooh, they play c4, sort of a variation on the Panov attack, which is exciting. So what's the move here? I don't think well, if we close up our center and they push, then we have a very exceptionally cramped position. We could take here. Taking seems good, and if they want to take on c4, then we push e6, and I think we have a pretty comfortable position. So let's take. They take, and we push e6. Yeah, this feels fine. Our opponent's queen. Well, I guess now they have two defenders on this pawn, so we can't really do anything about that. Yeah, now we can sort of get developed however we please. Two interesting checks available to us: bishop to b4 and queen to a5. They can guard them with their knight or their bishop, but they don't have any pawn moves available since they traded that off. So that's sort of an interesting thought. I think I'd like to play knight out to d7 first. Do we still want to push c6? I don't think so. We could consider b5 as well, which I don't think I love actually. Maybe we develop out here. Tough choices. We also play queen to b6. Oh, actually, I really like queen to b6 here. Sort of pinning this dark squared bishop to this b2 pawn. Well, I don't know. I guess it provokes b3, restricting the movement of their light squared bishop. Sort of tempting. Let's see what queen to b6 looks like. Queen to b6. Perhaps we'll see. Okay. They get their knight out. Okay. That seems fine. Let's go ahead and pin that. They get castled. Okay. We will do the same in a moment. Get our knight out over this way. Certainly, I feel like our light squared bishop is very safe here. I don't think they're likely to push these pawns now that they're castled. So now we need to drop. Well, I guess we don't have the option to drop back our dark squared bishop. We drop back to a5 and they push whatever this is, b4 trapping. Well, I guess this is interesting. So we drop back, they push, we take, they take, queen takes, and then we're hitting both of these hanging pieces, both their light squared bishop and their knight. So that's sort of an interesting idea. The other option is just take the knight immediately. A little bit less fanfare, but perhaps more reliable. Um, hmm. Yeah, let's go ahead and just take. I want to play safely. They'll take with their pawn. Hmm. I don't know if I love that. Oh well. We can get castled, and then maybe we pin their knight to their queen. That looks decent. Actually, if we make this trade here, oh, they come out and sort of do it for us. Um, if they want to take here, I think that's fine because then we get our knight out to f5, which looks decent. We could also, in the meantime, we could push c5, open up the c6 square for our knight. That looks good. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. They want to take, we're happy to take back and then hit their light squared bishop. But I'm not worried about takes here. Hmm. So our opponent has both of their bishops. We only have one, and we're likely to trade it off soon. So maybe that's not super appealing. They get their dark squared bishop out. Okay, that's interesting. Hitting our knight on e7. I think we can play out to c6, protecting that knight. So if they want to take, we take back, and then we have sort of the same position that we had just a moment ago. Yeah, this doesn't feel too bad. Rook out to b1 looks like a threat. I think we can drop back to c7, and then if they take, we can take back, and we have a nice. Well, I don't know if that's nice. We can take this pawn as well. This is interesting. I have the sense that perhaps some trades will happen soon. What I would like to do, I think, is take here on d4, or we could get our rook out to d8 first, and then take, and that comes with a little bit more venom. But I think our opponent has played well so far, creating very relevant, I would say, threats. We've been able to respond to them so far, but let's see what they cook up next. Queen out to b3 looks a little bit like a threat. I think in that case I would want to drop back to c7. Don't mind a cramped position. Are they going to do anything? They push. Oh, very interesting. So what can we do here? If we take, we threaten their light squared bishop. So they're trying to drive away our knight, which we need as a protector of this knight. Very interesting. I think if we take here, takes, 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 takes. Oh gosh. This math is challenging. Let's try that again. So we take a pawn. They take a knight. Oh, and then they're threatening our rook too. It's no good. Mm. Hmm. That was a good move. I guess taking here, I don't think is the move. Um, hmm. Do we have any threats we can generate of our own? Do we have any opportunities for counterplay? Or is there another way? I mean, this bishop is reinforced by the pawn on e6. So if they take here, we can always take back. That's not the issue. So maybe, yeah, knight takes on e5 is the move. So takes, probably takes, move out to e8. And then if they take, we can take back. And then they have a strong attack with sort of both of their bishops staring down our king. I think that's what we have to do. We certainly have to move our knight. There are not a lot of appealing options to move it to. I guess over here. I guess we could also take here. Takes. Knight takes. Knight takes. Yeah, so I think we take here. Takes. Is there a different order of operations that would be more dangerous? Takes. Probably knight takes. Well, no, it's guarded. So takes. Takes here. Takes here. Probably takes here. No, I think we're losing pieces that way. What about like takes like this? Get our knight out of the way. No, because then this pawn is doing double duty, and if they take back, they can come down and take our pawn, or take our knight. Tough position. We could get our rook out to d8, so they cannot take this knight, because then they lose their queen. Oh, that's a better idea. Let's do that. I guess they come out here. Oh yeah, and then if they come down, we have our knight guarding that other knight. Cool. So there we go. We've generated a threat of our own. Apparently they saw this coming. Now we can much more effectively play knight takes on e5, because that hits their queen and their bishop. So that feels a lot stronger now. And if we take their queen, it comes with a check. So that's a nice forcing move. Okay, we're up a pawn. Our position is not amazing, I would say. I don't think our pieces are very well coordinated. But we'll be able to push them off, I think, pretty effectively here. We just need to figure out how to do that. So let's see. Knight takes bishop, queen takes bishop, and then maybe now our knight is pinned effectively. So I think takes here. They very likely take back. And then we need to figure out what to do from there. Maybe we add another defender. Add another defender to this knight by playing queen to c7, and then they can push, and we can take, and then we're still defending that piece. Yeah, so let's do that, because this knight is hanging, and I think that's important. And I guess we also have knight out like this. Takes. And then they move a rook out. A rook out to attack us. That doesn't look quite as good. So I think, yeah, so we take here. Expecting them to take back with their queen. Although, like, bishop takes here would still be pretty good. Yeah, that's a good move. And I did not plan for that. Maybe we get our our bishop out both to defend this knight. Oops, bishop out to defend this knight and attack this rook. So we're generating a threat of our own because right now we're up a pawn. So if we come up here, and they take, we take, and then they, I think they're not trapped, I guess. But I think that is the move. Generating threats of our own, protecting the peace. All right. And I would love it if they came out to B1, because then we have bishop takes. Okay, so they take. I think we need to take in response. Here's the challenge here. If they take, we take, then they can take our knight. So do we have a way to get our knight out of danger? No, I don't think so. So I think we lose this, or we lose this piece, basically. That's a shame. Okay, so we can act now to stop the bleeding. We could play, like... knight back here to trap their... Oh, this starts to look dangerous, though. Or I guess, yeah, what if we took here? Because took here to reinforce the knight. The danger is if their bishop comes out to g7, we take back with our king. Then this starts to look very dangerous. Their queen comes down to g5. With check, we get out of the way, maybe to f8. And then I guess they don't have any follow-up there, actually, so that seems fine. Let's go ahead and take here, reinforce our knight, and then their dark squared bishop doesn't have anywhere amazing to go. I guess they can back out like this. But they do need to take a tempo to retrieve their dark squared bishop. And yeah, e7 is the only option for that. Okay. Cool. So we're up 2 pawns for the piece. Not as bad as perhaps it could have been. Not ideal, of course. Bishop to e8 looks decent. Any other way we can generate threats, take advantage of these extra pawns that we have. We have a little bit of extra time to make a threat over here, and then they'll back out. They'll probably back out to like g5. I think that's the only square they can go to, really. So if we come here, they come to g5, and then we can come over. No, I guess there's not a way to threaten them further. Got 17 minutes on the clock. What additional threat can we make? If we come out here, I don't think that's any good. They can simply take, and that doesn't do anything for us. Coming up to d7, I think, loses the game. Oh, no. Their queen comes down to b8, and then we can come back down. So it's not the end of the world. Okay. Our queen is guarding that d8 square, so we'd have 2 pieces focused on that. Yeah, I think rook to e8, bishop back to g5, and then we figure it out from there. Oh, when they go back to g5, then we can push f6, and we've trapped their piece. I guess another option could have been, well, I guess we can't push g5 because they simply take it. But here we go. Okay, so we might get our piece back. They retreat to g5. We push like this. Okay. They give up the piece, threatening, I think, maybe to take on d5 with like back rank ideas. But if they do that, they lose. So if we take here, they take, we take here, and then we win. So I think their rook cannot right now safely leave the back rank. So we simply pick up this pawn, or pick up this piece. Oh no, they hit us with back rank. Okay. That's a bummer. Yeah, no recourse. We'll lose both of our pieces here, and then it's checkmate. Oh, you hate to see it. Oh, you hate to see it. Let's take a look at the analysis. We lost just enough rating to bring us down to 1100, so still a proud member of the 1100 club. But yes, so we did fight pretty well. Caro-kann, nothing too unusual. We're back into book at this point. I think taking is correct. We've had this very cramped position where we close up. I think we've had this before where we close up here and then they're able to push, I think. And then it's just awful. It's a very cramped position. We need to push b6 and make a bunch of pawn moves. Fortunately, we didn't have to do that. They take, we push e6. They get their knight out. Get a queen out. I didn't feel amazing about that. I guess knight to e7 was a little bit better here. Yeah, let's... Yep, bishop takes c3 was a good move. Really, I guess when they say great move, they mean it's like the only half-decent option. In this case, because, well, let's take a look at what might have happened. So we push back. It's a mistake. So we're losing a piece. Take, presumably, they take back. We take with our queen, I think is the best move. Yeah, and then they must have defensive resources here. That's interesting. So they lose the light squared bishop. Okay, it's still showing advantage for white, I guess. Are they able to trap our queen or something? Oh boy. Yeah, that seems likely. Or maybe we're able to make an escape. Yeah, white attacks a trap piece and will win material. Okay, so yeah, the only way out of this is sacrificing another piece. Okay, so I'm glad we didn't go that route. It would have been nasty. Got into a bad position. Anyway, so we defended our knight. That's a great move. d5 is best. Attacking our knight. Rook a to d8 costs us a pawn, so taking here was the correct move. Let's take a look at that. We take, they take, oh, I see. We're able to take here. And then they need to, they can come out with their queen. Okay. And then this is, I believe this is even. Yeah, this is even, but they have the bishops and we have the knights. So perhaps a more challenging end game for us. All right. Queen to f4. It's a blunder. What was the correct move here? Oh, I see. Correct move here was f6. Identified a little bit too late the opportunity to make this attack. Darn. Takes. Yep, they take. Forking our pieces. We get our bishop out of the way. They take. We take. Yeah, EXD5 is best. I'm glad I identified that. E7 is best. E8 is best. D1, threatening back rank ideas. And then, of course, takes on E7 was the critical blunder of the game. So we had about an even position here. And I think it looks like better would have been queen over to E7. Both actually threatening this bishop and preventing ideas of back rank checkmate. So if we come up, they come down, we can come back down, and then this e8 square is defended twice. Oh man, but of course, queen to b8 came after that, and then I was eyeing down back rank ideas, and I spotted this back rank idea and neglected to do anything about it. So big error on my part of just identifying a threat and then forgetting about it. So I wonder, I mean, if we hadn't, if they had come down and taken this piece like I identified, we of course have mate in one, but they instead got us with mate in one. Oh well, a good game. I'm happy to play against stronger opponents. I feel like I learn something every time. Maybe something to take away here is some way to not forget about threats once I've identified them, because that back rank threat that I identified, I think maybe around here, it was persistent. Oh well. And I wonder, yeah, moving their bishop back here loses the bishop to, yeah, they get trapped. Okay, cool. Well, something to work on for next time. Another good game today. Looking forward to the next one. Have a good one, y'all.